This is me. As a kid, I was always happy, imaginative, expressive, free. This is also me. Now I know what you're thinking. What went wrong?
I like my meat thick.
Always in the way! Woo!
Hi, I'm Joseph. Joseph Marroni. That's Italiano.
My whole back bumper fucking
I'm 18 and I'm about to leave everything I've ever known behind me. My parents divorced when I was 2, but that never bugged me because they remained friends and I never had to worry about any squabbles or fights. I don't honestly remember much about school before 5th grade, but I know I was happy. I had a good life, I had a good time. Halfway through 5th grade, I was living in Colombia, but I moved back to Florida. I got to choose who I live with as long as it worked out logistically. I finished elementary school there, and this is when the first big pivotal thing in my life happened. Unfortunately, I stumbled upon this stuff very early in life. I didn't know it at the time, but it made my life a lot harder than it needed to be. I got bullied all through elementary school for being very charismatic and energetic, and I was a little chubby. I really think people picked on me because I was so much happier or energetic than everyone around me. For the next year of school, in between 5th and 6th grade, I moved to Texas. This is when my mom first got a house and I wanted to live in the house. So I moved there. When I got there in 6th grade, I didn't have any friends. I was chubby. I got even fatter than 5th grade. The porn addiction made me very, I wouldn't say antisocial, but it was hard for me to talk to people sometimes. Especially women. I was good with guys, actually. It was really just women. Because I watched porn, I didn't realize that at the time, but it made me very bitter towards myself. I hated myself. The same thing persisted from 7th and 8th grade. I made a few good friends throughout the years, and I'm very grateful to them. Most people picked on me. I wasn't seen by women. I was bitchless. Bitchless as fuck. But then COVID hit. 2020. I was happy that we didn't have to go to school because I've never been a fan of school. It was great having remote school, but this was also a very pivotal point in my life. Around this time, I roller skated and I went to the rink a lot.
Yep, that's me.
I started when I was in 8th grade and of course continued through COVID and all that. And I met a girl there. I really liked this girl. And we even got to the point where we'd say I love you to each other. And I'm a lover boy by nature, so I ended up, falling in love with this girl. I felt that she sort of led me on, the way she talked and stuff. But we were both young, and all the people that did me wrong, I forgave them, so it doesn't matter. But I understand why it happened, and a lot of it was because of my naivety. The big part that comes from this that lasted long term was she smoked. Back then, I was a goody-goody. I was like, Zaza's bad. However, I wanted to actually understand her and why she did it. And so one day, I decided to ask her to smoke with her. And we did. And I got hooked. That was the start of my second addiction cycle. To further that, I also started smoking nicotine at the same time. It was a downward spiral. The first time I did it, I can still remember. I was very anxious for the first hour. I was like,
What the fuck?
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because I got geeked. After an hour of that, I was like, this shit's awesome. And I enjoyed the high. It felt great. And I felt really happy for the next week or two after. And I didn't smoke much in that week or two, but I was already hooked. Then I just started smoking all the time, every single day. Every weekend, me and my friend would get a new one, smoke the fuck out of it. I'd smoke it for the rest of the week, and then the next weekend we get another one, and the cycle repeated over and over and over again. And my mom caught me multiple times in the whole span that I smoked, but I never stopped. By smoking and vaping on top of the pornography, which those two things made the pornography worse. It made me beat my shit even more, more often. So unfortunately, there was a deeper gravity to all of that than just smoking or just vaping. You know, I was abusing my body. I was destroying my dopamine system. And of course, I didn't know any of this back then. I didn't know the severity or the depth or the mental, scientific reasoning why I'm depressed and I hate my life and nothing feels right. And then even after I got caught, I stopped talking to this girl. The addiction continued through high school.
I like my meat thick.
Hey, on 3, okay?
I really hated high school. I literally waste my time. I would literally fail 4 to 6 classes each quarter. Like the last week or two of each quarter, I would pass everything. It's not that I couldn't, I just didn't want to, and so I didn't. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being forced to do things, etc. And so I did not do that shit. And my mom didn't like that because she was always getting emails and shit about me failing classes. Even my sophomore year, I tried taking harder classes to see if it would motivate me to try harder. Because my freshman year, I literally just smoked and slept. Then my sophomore year, I took honors geometry and I took AP world history, so advanced placement. I'm pretty sure it's like college level or some bullshit. I almost took honors English as well, but the summer reading thing was this boring ass book, and it was about firefighters that start fires instead of putting them out. So I just dropped back to level because I didn't want to do that. That's the only reason. if that tells you how undedicated to school I was. Now, one thing, I wish I listened in school more, simply for technical aspects, so I could freestyle more. Like now, if I had more technical things I could freestyle about, that'd be so cool, you know what I'm saying? I could put more things together that I learned in school. That's the only thing. But I definitely made a mistake because basically I did the exact same thing that year as I did my freshman year, which was pass all my classes last second. But like for the most part, I don't regret not paying attention in school because I didn't learn anything that's gonna help me in life. School doesn't teach you shit unless you're gonna be in any of the fields that they force you to learn things about. Like, bro, this is my favorite example, gravity. So we all know how gravity works, you know. They try to teach us how to calculate gravity. Like, bro, boom, gravity. I just killed a bunch of time rolling off of desks, curling up into balls with sticky notes on my forehead, whatever else I could do to kill time and make it as fun as possible. But then in between my sophomore year and junior year, I was very, very sad. I was very, very ready to call it quits in life. And I wanted to know why. It just like didn't make sense to me. How can a teenager hate their lives? My parents aren't dead, they're not fighting. I got picked on and stuff, but there was nothing there like super plain in front of my face that's causing me to want to die. I thought about it, I looked into it, and this is when I first found NoFap, and I started realizing how bad porn is, the effects it has on my brain and my dopamine systems, and how it makes so much sense that my life really started falling apart after I started watching it. So this is when I started my journey to try to quit. This is also when I started lifting weights, working out, started to get my shit together to an extent. I remember I was becoming happy again, and then I met another girl. Long story short, her and my friend, you know, yeah, that's all I gotta say for now. P.S. The first girl liked my friend that I always smoked with. And this girl liked my best friend. They really had me like,
fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. Fool me 3 times, fuck the peace sign, load the chopper, let it rain on you. And fuck these hoes.
that really wrecked me. Basically, by that summer in between junior and senior year, I changed so much and I wanted to die again, but I held on in a different way. I wasn't exactly ready this time like I was last time. Like this time I had some reason to hold on. And I still smoked and I still wasted my time and I still vaped and I still did all that, but I healed. And I still watched porn, but it was very minimized. Like there were bursts I had where I resisted. And then these tendencies lasted till senior year, where I went to jail for possession of a cart, which is a felony in Texas, as opposed to like bud, which is just a misdemeanor. Luckily, I got it dismissed and expunged, but still happened, still went to jail. I was only there for a night, like I wasn't even there 24 hours, but that one session in there changed my mind so much. Of course, I couldn't smoke weed anymore because probation, but I could still vape. They don't test for that, but I didn't. Something in my mind clicked, and for whatever reason, I just didn't do it. I just didn't want to. That's when I realized it's all about the mind. It's all about the control you have. After that point, I flowed. I did a lot better. I was making momentum in my life. I was happier again. I was working out. And it helped a lot that I didn't have this other stimulation in my life. I worked out. I did my things. I started dreaming again and having plans, but actually like starting to set things up for it. And then I got off probation. And then I started smoking again. So now I'm back in it. Luckily, I didn't go to jail again. Pretty much this just continued until I got out of high school. I didn't go to my graduation. I picked up my diploma the next day and I didn't even walk because fuck school, that shit's ass. After high school, I kept smoking, I kept vaping, I kept wasting my time. I just had to find new ways to waste my time because I wasn't in class for 8 hours a day. And so that's what I did. I wasted time with people who have no future or, well, they weren't moving like they had a future, just like me. I definitely regret wasting all that time because I could be further ahead. Of course, everyone regrets wasting time. In the meantime, after high school, really what I did, waste time, smoke weed, vape, and I started going to car meets. Car meets are so cool, bro. I remember one time a fire truck came through the line. That shit was dope.
Going on the back?
Anyways, I love car meets. I just went there every weekend. Throughout the week, I would just waste my time. And then the weekends, car meets, and then a week, waste my time. Car meets, waste time. Car meets, waste time. It was bad. And I didn't go to that many car meets before I went to Florida the first time, but most of them were afterwards. But when I went to Florida the first time, it was the first time I locked in. I literally went there, we were doing construction, and I was like, nah, I'm fat as fuck still. I was like, I'm fat as fuck, time to lock in. And I started running. I started eating 1,000 calories a day. I don't recommend it. It's not good for you. I was just insane. Construction was hard work and I was eating very minimally and I was still running and walking after work. I'm low-key glad I did it just to see the progress. I'm low-key trying to lock in right now and get abs again. I just locked in. I'm not going as extreme, but I'm gonna get them back. Yeah, I locked in and I felt great. Then I went back to Texas and everything came back full circle. More car meets, more weed, more vaping, more wasting time. And that's all I did. Then a hurricane hit Florida and I did more work. I made more money. But this time I stayed with my friend and his family. I'm very grateful that they let me stay. I also lost my abs this time in Florida. They had so much yummy food around. It was hard to resist. I just couldn't, you know what I mean? When I was in Florida the second time and I had Mary with me. Mary's my car. But anyways, I was with my friend, he was in the car with me. We would ride around pretty much every night and just have fun, but he was in my car this time. And we were doing the dash allegedly in Mexico. Because of that, my back bumper flew off.
My whole back bumper fucking flew off, bro.
Wow. But the original, or the reason it fell off though, is because back months ago, I allegedly drifted around a turn. I allegedly really fucking suck apparently because I drifted into a ditch. Allegedly. It was a sharper turn than I anticipated because I used to go down that road all the time, but it's been a long time and, miscalculated. Anyways, so that fell off. And so I went on the quest to find new bumpers and I repainted them myself. Also, the front right control arm was very worn. So me and my friend replaced that. And yeah, that's pretty much all we did. We were gonna pimp Mary out because my friend's a mechanic. But it just wasn't worth the investment considering I'm gonna sell it. After all that, I drove back, of course. There's this cool, super long tunnel and it's on the way there and back. And I did the dash, allegedly, in virtual reality. I had to sell it. I found somebody and boom, Mary gone. I got her sold and the money I got from her is helping me be here today. I also felt the same kind of trapped that I would living in my mom's house. I want freedom, I want independence. It was something I craved so badly, and I've craved it most of my life. And then after I finished working again in Florida, I went home. And I went back to the same stuff. Over time, I definitely weakened my addictions. Every time I left Texas, it went away. The urges, in a sense. Not always, but I wasn't so hooked that I had to go find some. The same applied when I finally left the country. I didn't need it anymore. I just left, and the new environment allowed me to become a new me. And that's what I did. I still have urges to watch porn, and I think a lot of that is because it's my deepest rooted addiction. It's like half my life. It definitely has some deep roots in there, but they break. Over time, they go away. You get stronger. It gets easier to not relapse. It gets easier to push forward, to ignore it, to live a better life, to do better things. And I remember when I was about 17, my dad told me about an idea to leave the country. He was leaving the country to start YouTube. I loved that idea, so I wanted to join, and here I am now. This was an opportunity to do what I've always wanted to do deep down. I've always been very ambitious. I just never lived like an ambitious person. All up until the day it was time to leave. I barely planned for the trip. I barely got ready. It was bad. I was a mess. But leaving was also a pivotal change in my life, even if I didn't prepare, even if I could have done more. If I didn't do it at all, then where would I be? The same place. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and turn on noties if you want to follow the journey. If you want to take control of your life and strive for freedom, check out my life maxing channel, Project 1461, in the description. Also, like the video. If you don't, I'ma bunch you in with P. Diddy, bro. Yes, I just rhymed and told you to like ho. What are you waiting for?